What is going on, guys? Welcome back. Oh, hold on. Got a package, as you can see. Almost had a mini heart attack because this package right here is something I'm going to share with you guys, and it's going to be, well, it's something for you guys, as a matter of fact. So I got 3 packages, and then I got home and I'm like, all right, I got my stuff that I need. And I was like, then I opened them and it wasn't that. It was some shoes and a couple shirts. Right here, I'll show you. So I got these right here. These are like, oops. These are gray. Really nice. They look kind of like a carbon fiber look. You can see real closely here. See that? So they're really nice, really comfy. This is a black. So these are the low top Nike SB Stefan Janoski. So I got those, and then I got these right here. Same, just a different pattern on the cloth here. And they're gold here, obviously, and gold in the air bubble down on the heel, and also on that side, and the lettering here. So that's really nice. Really comfy, very durable. On the arch of your foot is really soft, so, and it's pretty high up, so therefore it's really comfy on your foot. So I got those 2 of the packages. And then I got some shirts from Gymshark. All right, moving on. So then, okay guys, so then I was like freaking out because I didn't have the package that I was looking for, that I anticipated, which is right over there. I got it from my neighbor. I had to go knock on his door, and thank God it was there. So I'm going to be showing you that next time. I'm not gonna show you just yet. I'll show you next time. But let's get into this review, which we're reviewing the black edition of the Rise wrist wraps. Okay, so it comes just like this. Okay, and it's very simple, just a small box with 2 wrist wraps. That's all it is, guys. So they're very simple. They come out like this, just like that. They say Rise on them. All right, guys, now let's talk about how to put these on. There's 2 ways of putting them on. I've seen them guys put them on both ways, and in me personally, I don't think it really matters. It just depends on how you like the loop on your thumb, or if you like the loop at all. So I'll show you the 2 different ways. The reason why I think that it doesn't really matter where you want the loop behind your hand or the front of your hand, or the inside, I would say, is because what we're looking for is support here. And either way, whether you wrap it this way or this way, it's creating that support for your wrists. So let me show you what I mean. So I'll take this one first, and this is the most common one I see, is guys will put it on the back end like this, okay? And then they'll wrap it around their hand, like so. Just do it real quick. And there it is, okay? So see how the loop is on the back end of my hand? See, it's not on my palm, anywhere, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and take this one off and put the other one on so you guys can see what I mean. So if I have this one and I put the thumb loop on and then wrap it, same way, like so, like that. See how the thumb loop is on your palm here? And on the other one, since it was on the back end of my hand, the loop was more like this. So there's no loop on my palm. And the reason why I think that guys use the other way more is because the bar sits on your hand like right here, right? And so that might, bug them to have this right here, or it might pinch their hand. But I mean, it's really personal preference. So I really don't think there's a right or wrong way, because like I said, both ways you're having that support on your joint, on your wrist here, which is what we're looking for, okay? So that's the difference of putting them on, but let me show you how to actually put it on. I'll show you the way that I use, which is the thumb loop on the back end of my hand because I don't like that thumb loop on my palm. Okay, so what I do is I grab it like so, the thumb loop on top, and I put it on top of my wrist, slide my thumb through here. Now what I do is I pull this, okay, like so, pull it nice and tight, like this, around, and strap it. And that's it. That creates nice pressure on my wrist so it doesn't allow my hand to go as far back. So, what are these for? These are basically like preventative service on your car, okay? These are only for support, for protection, okay? So like the bar is gonna sit here, right? And if I were to try to push my hand back, look how far the back it goes. It only goes back to about a 45-degree angle, see? Now, so here's that, that's as far as back as it's going. Now, if I were to take this hand and bend it, see how much further back that goes than this one? This one's almost at a 90-degree, and that hurts, and this one's at a 45. Now, it is not necessary for your hand to go that far back when holding a bar, like doing an overhead press or bench press, and that's what these are used for, okay, for pushing movements that create stress on your wrists. Now let's talk about it a little more in depth. Let's say your wrists don't hurt. Well, that's fine. If you're in weightlifting, if you're in a bodybuilding or powerlifting, you know, for the long run, you know, your joints are going to eventually start to hurt. It's not a matter of fact if they're going to hurt, it's a matter of fact of when. You don't need to wait to get wrist wraps until your wrists start hurting. Okay, you can definitely get some prior to them hurting, because it's just like going to the mechanic or servicing your car yourself. You want to service the car before it breaks down. You know, you go to the dentist and have a cleaning to make sure you don't have cavities. You right? You know what I'm saying? You don't want cavities, then have to go to the dentist for a big bill and a lot of work, right? So if your joints hurt already, your wrist in this case, you know, I would definitely recommend these if they're in your budget. You know, whether they hurt already or if they don't, you know, they're a great tool to help the support of your wrists. Now, do I think that wrist wraps are going to help you push more weight? No, not necessarily. But what they are going to let you do is, one, stabilize the weight that you currently have, okay, especially if you have small joints, okay. I think I have pretty normal joints, pretty normal wrists. I'm trying to light real quick. If your wrists are hurting or your knees are hurting and give out before stimulating the muscle that you're trying to work out, you know, trying to progressively overload that muscle, then that particular muscle is not being stimulated, worked on the way you want it to, simply because your joints are holding you back because they hurt or they're too small, and they don't allow you to push more weight, or it hurts too much to go past a certain point. Okay, so would I recommend wrist wraps? I would recommend them. And also the reason why I like the Rise wrist wraps is because they're 24 inches. These ones are anyways. So on my wrist, they'll go around maybe 3 times. Okay, other wrist wraps that I've had in the past do not go around as that much either, because they're I've seen some that are 12 inches, I've seen some that are 18 inches, so there's not enough support there. Also the width, like I mentioned already, the width on these is really nice, okay, and on the other ones that I've had, they're a little narrower. And also, I'm sure you guys have seen people use tape, like boxers, for example. They use tape on their wrist to support them. You know, when throwing punches, you don't want to connect with something and then your joint give out. One, that's going to hurt your wrist, right? And second of all, your punches are not going to have the effect as if it were to connect solidly. But that's, you know, martial arts and boxing and whatnot. But that's why they do that. And in weightlifting, it's the same thing. It's to create support for your wrists. That's wrist wraps in a nutshell for you guys. Would I recommend them? Yes, I would if they're in your budget. Do I think they're a necessity? No, I lifted without wrist wraps for many, many years, and you know, with minimal problems. But my joints are about normal size. But for some of you who have smaller joints, might experience pain sooner. So, but like I said, you don't need to get wrist wraps until you start feeling pain. So that's the end of this video, guys. Thank you so much. If you have any questions or comments, go ahead and leave them down in the section below. And until next time, stay fitted, stick with it, and I'll see you guys in the next one.